What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the After Dark podcast.
Here we are, episode 11.
We have a very exciting special guest joining us today.
Let's welcome Caroline Fence.
It's Spence.
Your last name
Yeah.
is Spence. Not
Yeah.
Fence. Caroline.
Spence.
Are you sure?
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive. I'm pretty sure.
Wait,
Do I look at the camera?
Hey, Caroline.
Yeah.
Got a quick question for you.
Yes.
Are you thirsty?
Oh, I'm very thirsty.
Well, how about you take a 5%? You got a 5%?
I got a 5%.
I got a 0%.
The all-inclusive drinking system for everybody. We got 8%, 5%, and 0%. Everybody's gonna have a good time. Everybody's gonna enjoy.
We're gonna have 100% of a good time.
Everybody's gonna enjoy the party pack.
100%.
If you're not in the mood to drink, if you're in the mood to have a 5%, or if you're in the mood to have an 8%.
Drink system, baby.
Cheers. Nobody cheers me.
Oh,
I literally went like
literally
this.
just spilled all over myself.
Cheers. Cheers.
Have you had one of these before?
No, this is my first time.
What do you think?
First impression.
It's really good.
Isn't it actually really good?
It's not too
It's like
much.
punch-ish,
Yeah.
right? I love the black cherry flavor.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
I haven't
really-
tried another one.
They did it spot on. I tried the mango before. It's pretty
You like
good.
Alrighty, let's get into the episode, guys.
Would we like to do some rapid fire questions to Caroline
Yeah.
Spence to get to know the girl a little bit? Get the
Yes.
audience
Yeah.
hooked.
Let's ask
Let's
you some
go.
questions.
Black dick or white dick?
I can't really say that I have a ton of experience with black dick, but white dick probably for me.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm into dicks of like all different colors
You're
And
not-
sizes.
and
You're not gonna
shapes and
pick.
sizes. I'm not gonna pick. I'm not gonna
Shapes.
discriminate.
What about circumcised or uncircumcised?
The snake can't wear a hat, okay? Like I don't want that
Right,
smelly
right.
penis near me. I feel like it's gonna give me BV or a yeast infection. I just can't do that.
I'm right now seeing someone that's not circumcised.
What does he do? Does he like pull it back?
No, once you get an erection, like it's no longer in its cage.
It
But, like,
peeks its head out.
How like okay, so like at what point of like him chubbing does the head come out? You know, because there's like different
Yeah.
stages of chub.
He's pretty fucking hard. Like he has to be pretty
He has to be rock hard cock to not have a foreskin. Rock hard cock.
Hell yeah. Bowser actually.
Your dog?
My dog isn't circumcised,
Oh, cool.
but he has this problem where like
And you don't judge him.
no, I don't judge.
Yeah. That's great. That's great.
No, my dog is
Maybe you're cold and
uncircumcised,
sweating.
but he has this problem where like it comes out and like he'll be like really cute, and then all of a sudden he's like on the couch
Red
and like you can
rocket.
see his entire red rocket.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Because it gets stuck. So
Do you get horny when you see that?
no,
No.
he's my son.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So no on bestiality.
No.
Okay. Just making sure.
Scratch the next question.
I think that was pretty good on the fun fact questions. I think we got enough out of her to know exactly what she's about. So do we throw this back and explain why she's here? What's going on?
Yeah, let's talk about how we met, Caroline. And okay, wait. We met when I first moved here. I heard about the yoga studio you work at.
Yes.
And I came to one of your classes and I fell in love with you. And then I saw you at a house calls event,
Mhm.
Spin Cycle, their first one.
Yeah.
And you came up to me and you were like, "Oh my god, hey."
That was
Remember?
amazing. I do remember that.
And then
Your jacket, that Chicago house music jacket. I
Yeah.
remember I saw it original. I was like, that is the fucking coolest jacket I've ever seen.
it's
Right.
like my only personality trait, really.
I loved it.
Thanks. And then I just kept coming to your classes, and then you were like, "Let's get dinner."
Yeah.
And then we did, and we got wasted. We were out till 7 a.m.
That was a really crazy night.
We were out till 7 a.m. We went. That was
I saw the Hat Man for sure.
the Hat Man.
Yeah.
What's that?
I mean, so the Hat Man is basically if you take too much Benadryl, it's like the
Did you
it's
take
like-
too much
It's a
Benadryl?
legend. No, I've never taken like an excessive amount of Benadryl, but I know the stories. I know the lore.
I've seen the Hat Man.
Wait, can you explain what the Hat Man is?
So the Hat Man,
I've probably seen it.
You've seen it. The Hat
Oh,
Man.
I've seen the Hat Man.
when
Yeah.
you
I've seen the Hat Man.
I've seen the Hat Man. a
so
couple
it's like
times.
basically a person that you see when you take too much Benadryl, and
That's
like,
eyes are glowing.
and if you owe him money,
If you owe him money, he's there.
he's there, and
Whew.
you're in trouble.
I met Caroline.
Talk about our night.
Oh,
We hung out. We went out to dinner one night, and we got like a bottle of wine each. Drank it down there,
period.
and then we went to house calls,
Yeah,
and then we went batshit for the rest of the night. And then the second time we hung out, we did the same thing.
I was scared for like 2 days straight.
Me too.
But it was a fun night.
The second time we hung out, dude, I was out until 12 p.m. the next day.
I was out till 9 a.m. and then I had to teach a class at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
that same day.
You were like, I think it's time for me to go.
I'm in my cowgirl hat. I've got that Harley, or no, it's the
There's a red shirt. right?
dazzled
What's it called?
red Ed Hardy
Yeah.
tank top
Mhm.
in a blue jean mini skirt and kitten heels. And I pull up to the McDonald's by my house at about 9:30 a.m. And I've got a McChicken in hand, and I'm getting the dirtiest looks from like all these families.
Cowboy hat on.
Yeah. Still on. It didn't leave
Yeah.
me the whole night.
Yeah,
It's an extension of
Um,
my body.
It was that
that's
night.
beautiful.
That was very fun. And we went to Homeboy's place. Literally. And I was there till 12 the next day, bro. So
Any hooter.
your turn.
Do you guys like party?
I guess we like to party when we're together.
That's
But
pretty fun.
I feel like it's like the extreme. Like we go. I feel like I was like I sometimes go into extremes, whether it be like a health kick
Right.
or
A bender.
a bender, and I was on the full end of the bender spectrum.
I do the same thing.
Should we get into it?
Talk
Let's
about
get
how you
into
guys
it.
met.
All right.
Right.
Well, we met just through ritual.
We met the ritual.
Yeah, ritual yoga is where Caroline teaches at, and where Paige and I, we didn't know that we knew the same person until we went together and saw each other all three. But yeah, no, I mean, we wanted to have her on the show because we both enjoy yoga, hot yoga so much, and like ritual has just been a huge part of my journey, my sobriety journey, and what's better than having someone themselves explain like all the shit that we have found that is great.
I also think just like moving your body in general is like such a way to like get your mental health on track. And I think we all do it together. And we've all found a very safe space for us to like practice yoga and do our thing, move our bodies, shake that stress away.
Hell yeah.
What even is yoga?
So yoga is typically in the West. We like a lot of people like what you think that yoga is the physical movement, the workout, the
Mhm.
exercise. You see the like skinny white girls on Instagram doing yoga, and you're like, oh, that's yoga. I have to like contort my body in this way. But yoga, the word yoga means to yolk.
Hmm.
Like an
Like
egg.
an egg.
Like
Yeah.
an egg. Sunny side up.
Like an egg.
How do you like your eggs, by the way?
Sunny side up.
I like them every way.
Scrambled.
Yeah.
Anyway,
My usual go-to is like over medium, over easy.
beautiful.
Sunny side up, but like flip it for a couple seconds both
Yeah.
ways.
So like the
So
inside's
yoga
still
means yolk.
So yoga means pretty much it means to yolk, and it's talking about the like sort of like immersing yourself with all and everything around you. So that involves peeling back the layers of the self, the physical asana, which is like the exercise, the movement part, the mental, emotional, spiritual, and then you get to the soul, which is like the center of who you are. And
The yolk.
the yolk. And
beautiful.
that like light and energy is the same within all of us.
Mm.
So that's yoga.
What do you think are like some common misconceptions of like yoga? Like obviously that it's for white.
Yeah, or like I feel like a lot of misconceptions is like that you just sit in a room and like hold a pose.
So some common misconceptions about what yoga is people think that you have to be flexible to do yoga.
Yeah.
It's just what happens on your mat.
How is yoga like? Tell me your journey, your yoga journey of where you started, how you started. Um, Anyone who's interested in like getting into yoga or teaching, any advice they have as well.
Yeah. So I rolled into my first yoga class. I think I was about like 13 years old.
Me
Mm.
too.
So I was a little youngin'. And
Same. I was a baby.
like I was like starting to like, like a lot of like I was starting to deal with like more challenging emotions at that time, like a lot of like anxiety and like my depression was kind of starting. And I remember like when I was like in that class, we were breathing and like moving like a very gentle way. Like I had never felt such like an insane amount of peace and calm within me. And it literally felt like it was like euphoric almost.
That just like filled my heart so much. I love that you found that like passion and joy in
And
something.
release.
In some yeah, that release like in something because that's really hard for people to find.
Mm-hmm.
Especially even like a lot of people can find that in drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
And I'm like it makes me so happy to hear you found it in something like that.
It's like I hate saying this, but it's like a drug in a way because you do tap into like those like it helps to like it creates endorphins in your body, it like calms you and whatever. So I was like kind of like on and off with my practice then, and then I started getting back like more into my practice again when I was like in high school, and then I decided to do my teacher training when I was 18, and I was like really unsure about like what I was going to do with school. Like I had a rough couple years like before that, and I decided to do my yoga teacher training. And it and then I decided during my training that like this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to do yoga and I want to do it because I want to help people in the way that it's helped me.
Mhm. 100%. That's amazing. I can't believe that you found that at such a young age. Like how Paige was saying, like how people use drugs and alcohol. I feel like those are like the ages where you like start experimenting with drugs
Mhm.
and alcohol. And like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's just so amazing. Like that's God working in your life, like helping you find like that outlet in your true passion in life at such a young age because you did struggle like young and your
Yeah.
younger ages,
Yeah.
right? Harder than like
Yeah. I
in
would say I was like definitely like struggling a lot with my mental health from like age like 14 until like 17. Like those I remember
wow.
like
How is yoga like? Tell me your journey, your yoga journey of where you started, how you started. Um, Anyone who's interested in like getting into yoga or teaching, any advice they have as well.
yeah. So I rolled into my first yoga class. I think I was about like 13 years old.
Me
Mm.
too.
So I was a little youngin'. And
Same. I was a baby.
like I was like starting to like, like a lot of like I was starting to deal with like more challenging emotions at that time, like a lot of like anxiety and like my depression was kind of starting. And I remember like when I was like in that class, we were breathing and like moving like a very gentle way. Like I had never felt such like an insane amount of peace and calm within me. And it literally felt like it was like euphoric almost.
That just like filled my heart so much. I love that you found that like passion and joy in
And
something.
release.
In some yeah, that release like in something because that's really hard for people to find.
Mm-hmm.
Especially even like a lot of people can find that in drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
And I'm like it makes me so happy to hear you found it in something like that.
It's like I hate saying this, but it's like a drug in a way because you do tap into like those like it helps to like it creates endorphins in your body, it like calms you and whatever. So I was like kind of like on and off with my practice then, and then I started getting back like more into my practice again when I was like in high school, and then I decided to do my teacher training when I was 18, and I was like really unsure about like what I was going to do with school. Like I had a rough couple years like before that, and I decided to do my yoga teacher training. And it and then I decided during my training that like this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to do yoga, and I want to do it because I want to help people in the way that it's helped me.
Mhm. 100%. That's amazing. I can't believe that you found that at such a young age. Like how Paige was saying, like how people use drugs and alcohol. I feel like those are like the ages where you like start experimenting with drugs
Mhm.
and alcohol. And like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's just so amazing. Like that's God working in your life, like helping you find like that outlet in your true passion in life at such a young age because you did struggle like young and your
Yeah.
younger ages,
Yeah.
right? Harder than like
Yeah. I
yeah.
would say I was like definitely like struggling a lot with my mental health from like age like 14 until like 17. Like those I remember
Wow.
like 17 was like is the hardest year of my life like today.
Wow.
I mean, I was like, going through mental health
Mhm.
treatment and
When did
like
your parents get divorced?
my actual like my biological parents, well, I'm not fucking adopted. My parents got divorced when I think I was like very young, like maybe like 2.
Uh,
And
Hold on.
we don't gender our parents here.
wait, what?
You said your
Just be
dad.
careful with your. On this podcast, we don't gender people. I'm so woke that I don't even know which one is my mom or my dad at this point. But continue.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. My parents.
Just try to be more sensitive.
Oh, you're being sensitive. All right.
Right. First question is black or white cock?
My mom and my stepdad got divorced when I was
Your mom and your stepdad?
yeah,
Okay.
when I was like
So growing up,
12.
was your biological mom and your biological dad together?
No. My
Okay.
So my like mom and dad, like I didn't grow up with them together, but they had a great relationship,
Right.
and like I would never see them fight. So like that wasn't a part of my trauma really at all. But I was like really, really close with my stepdad. Like I met him when I was 4.
Oh wow, yeah.
And like it was a really big transition for me to like have them be separated, and I didn't really realize it at the time. And I feel like that was like what kind of really started my anxiety and
Mhm.
depression. And then I
Mhm.
just from there on out, like, I it just like I feel like it progressively got worse and worse and worse.
And at that age, like you don't really know what's going on, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like
No.
at least I suffered from mental health issues later on in life, but at least I knew what it was. You know, I feel like when you're in such a young age and you're like caught up in just fucking whatever, those days, like, yeah, that's just like a really hard time frame to go through.
Yeah.
Some shit for real.
For sure.
But Paige relates to you. 'Cause
yeah.
she
Yeah, I got divorced parents too.
Yeah.
I think that at that age, you almost think like, I mean, personally, I was like, I don't want either one of them to like be alone or to like sleep alone at night.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing that hurt me the most was like seeing my dad like sleep alone in a bed at night. Like I'm
Mhm.
like, you should like be with the person you love,
Yeah.
which was my mom. And like that was the thing that sucked for me. Like I didn't want either of them to be alone, which is like another, not to make it about myself, but that's a thing I struggle with is like think about my own feelings. Like how did I feel in that time, not about how
Yeah.
other people felt and like trying to make other people feel better.
Yeah.
That's
It's like I feel like it's not necessarily so much about divorce, because like divorce is like a very like normal thing,
Mhm.
but it's like
it's still like can really affect you.
it can like trigger things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
And like having to like at a young age having to like deal with adult problems like is
That's
very
exactly what
unhealthy.
I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
If it makes you feel any better, I feel that when you were saying, "Oh, my parents," I feel bad when they're sleeping alone, but I know that your mom rips fucking ass. So
Wait, really?
no, no, no. But she watches this.
She's gonna love that.
How much yoga like do you do a day? Because
I think
overworking out
insane amount.
is like a thing. I've never had that issue personally.
Me neither.
I'm more on the binge eating side, but yeah, I'd love for you to like explain that. And like I've had a lot of friends that have struggled with like the extreme side of
Yeah.
like eating, fasting, all those good things that can be so good, but if too much, it's not going to be good for you.
Yeah, too much of anything is a bad thing. And
Mhm.
I feel like when I'm looking back at myself this time last year, like it was just, I put way too much emphasis on wellness and like what I was eating and like the things that I was thinking and saying, and, like unpacking like every single thought or emotion that I had. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was just kind of like a way for me to like control things. But
Mm.
I've definitely struggled with like working out too much. Like it's not good for you, or like monitoring like what I'm eating too much, and like
Mhm.
it just, and it's bad for your body.
Yeah.
Like
How do
too
you avoid doing that? Like, what are some things? Because it's like that's your career, that's your passion,
Right.
that's also your release.
yeah.
Like, how do you control, like, how are you able to control that to the way where it's not unhealthy?
Or are you still trying to navigate that?
I feel like I'm still definitely trying to navigate that. Like it's definitely is like a struggle for me daily, but like asking myself like so something that I do that really really helps me is to think about myself like 50 years down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Like my grandma ass elderly self. I want that body to be strong. Like I want
Yeah.
it to be healthy. I want to be happy. I want to think good thoughts. I want to be able to like age gracefully and love myself through each and every single phase in life.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
And like when I show up to my mat to, like work out because I want to be like look a certain way, or
Right.
like if I'm like not eating enough because I want to like be really thin, like reminding myself that like it's never going to be enough,
Mhm.
and I want to be strong and happy. And like even when you're at those like points where like you're doing the most, it's never enough.
Right. Right.
I love that answer.
Why do I hysterically cry after some yoga classes?
I I do too, and I think it's because you release a lot of emotion when you move your body that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people say that like your like emotions are stored in your hips. So like at the end of
Mhm.
class, we always do like hip openers and back bends and like heart openers. So that's like opening up your like your heart chakra.
Mhm.
My favorite meditation is the heart meditation, heart chakra meditation.
What is that?
You basically, so like it's for people who like get, like I would say, well, it's for everybody, but like I read it in a book that's specifically for like empaths and for people who like feel very very deeply like
Mhm.
me. Um and you basically like you can put your hand on your stomach or your heart. We're not going to do it right now.
This is everything.
Well,
to me.
you can do one or the other, or you can
Wait,
do
what if we
both.
take a deep breath?
But you put your hand somewhere that just feels good for you. And you basically think of like your happy place. So like I'll think of um like a beach, or like,
Is that your happy place?
well, no.
What is your
You're
happy
like,
place?
I'm thinking of a warehouse, rolling tits, banging my fucking head against a wall.
And then I go to my happy place.
And then I
Sweaty.
go to my happy place.
When I tell you, I'm not kidding. I'm not
It's the
kidding.
beach.
The waves are crashing.
No, when I tell you guys, I'm like, that's actually fully what I imagine. I'm not joking.
Be fucking real.
I'm serious.
I imagine
I'm
this.
like a beach,
Wait,
and you guys
guys.
are like, be for real. Think of your happy place. Mine's a fucking underground techno rave. With your hands on a spot that feels good. So like I like my chest.
Like, you're literally like, just like,
I'm like I'm gonna start doing that in the club. Like
I do that in the club, man.
I know. But you sit in that for like 3 minutes. Exactly, 3 minutes, and that's it.
I love that.
Thanks. So I know we were talking about like how you found something that brought you like so much joy at a really young age?
Mhm.
You said like 13 was when you took your first yoga class.
13 was when I took my first yoga class, and I felt like it introduced me to yoga, and then practice was very on and off, and then I like really started to dive deep as I got older.
Right.
Like as I like into like not like older, but like into my later teens. And I just started noticing like it was just like it literally like I feel like I've been on countless amounts of like medication. I've been on like lithium, Seroquel, Zoloft, Abilify, like every single fucking thing to like try to fix the way that I'm feeling. And nothing has made me feel the way that like movement, yoga, breath work, the community, like the group of people that I'm surrounded by, like meeting you two,
Yeah.
like nothing has like filled my cup more and like helped me to heal more than that.
I love you.
Also, Wellbutrin. I've been on that study for 3 years.
She's like movement, yoga, and fucking Wellbutrin.
Yeah,
I'm on that Wellbutrin as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
get into it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta up my dose. I'm telling you,
She's on that Zoloft.
it's not
Yeah.
working. Hasn't worked in years.
I fucking hated Zoloft.
She needs to get off of it, but that's for a different discussion on a different day.
Yeah, it really
We sh-
fucks with the libido too.
No, get on Wellbutrin. You're gonna come so much.
Oh, that's awesome.
Woo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she's
man.
a fucking freak. So we said like you took your first yoga class when you were really young, and like something I realized about all three of us is we've all found like a passion, something we really love doing. Like generalized, like we have all found something, like I just said, something that we love to do. Um and I think that maybe this could even be like a advice portion to some people who are like struggling with that are our age. Caroline and I and Maggie took like a very different route on life and like a different route on things. We didn't like go to college and like do the normal thing. We didn't join a sorority, and like we definitely, I mean, that was not for me at all.
Definitely was not for me.
I have been to 3 colleges. You two have not been to college. I've joined a sorority as well. I was in Kappa Kappa Gamma. And yeah, that was crazy. Just wanted to add that in there.
Yeah.
Let me get you guys all riled in. We want to talk about like Paige is a makeup artist. I'm about to be an art director. You're a yoga instructor, and like these are how we found our passions. And I guess I'll start with mine. Like, I had no idea what I was doing in life. I went to 3 different colleges, and once I got to my third, I literally just chose advertising because I was like, I have no idea. But like, little did I know that was God working in my life, choosing it for me because shit, I was fucking off like 8 sticks and like drinking all the time. So
For people who don't know, sticks means like Xanax.
that's stick top.
This is can
Plug
I have
walk.
the fucking microphone?
So then I ended up going to college, graduating, and then like the last day of school my teacher came up to me, and this is why you should be homies with your teachers. He came up to me and was like, you got to join this program, you're creative, you need to continue the creative path. And that's where I'm at right now, studying to be an art director, which is something super cool and a lot of people don't know anything about. But yeah, that's how I found my path. I genuinely don't know, but if I look back at it, I just gotta say thanks to God.
Right.
For real.
So you want to tell us? I mean, I think we've talked about how you found your passion
Yeah,
Yeah, we did.
for sure.
because I was mentally ill and I needed to, get better.
See, like that's exactly what was me though, too.
Yeah.
Like I was mentally ill too.
It's like you need to express yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk about mine if you guys want to know.
Go. Sorry, I
Fine.
didn't mean that like that.
So I'm a makeup artist and medical esthetician / technician. And I always, so my mom owned a makeup store, my grandma owned a makeup store, and my great grandma owned a makeup store. And I was always like fascinated watching them do their makeup. Like I would just sit there and be like, oh my God, like, can I try this? Can I do the next thing? Like, loved watching them do it. My grandma's like an amazing talent, like amazingly talented artist. Like she does paintings, drawings, like sculpture creations, like she slays. And yeah, I mean, I think that I learned like you can't do makeup every day, like starting out. And so I was like, okay, I'll do like esthetician. Because like that's where you get certified to be like a makeup artist.
Mm.
Um, and I did it right after high school, but then I found like a love for skincare and like all the things that go into it. Body treatments, like all the things that I do.
Paige Coven Beauty. Follow her.
Yeah.
Um, well, that's beautiful. And yeah, so like advice I would have is just continue living your life and not saying no to opportunities when they come.
Also, like I think that a lot of my friends have like gone and tried to do college or tried to do, what society says is like the norm and what you're supposed to do. And a lot of them have like been like, "Oh my gosh, I'm miserable." Like a specific friend of mine texted me every day that she like was in college like the first year. This was like years ago. Like, oh my gosh, this is miserable. Like why am I doing this? This is not for me. And it's like there's no black and white rule of life. Like there's no black and white um story that you're supposed to live. You're supposed to find what brings you joy and what brings you passion, which we have all found, and like make your life out of that.
Exactly. You can always, one of my therapists once told me, you can always make money out of something that you're passionate about, but you
Mhm.
can never become passionate just about something that strictly makes you money.
Yeah,
That's
very
beautiful.
true. But Brianna West says it beautifully. Almost everything and anything that truly calls your soul will take you off the certain and consistent path that a million others have carved out of the unknown. It's never going to be reasonable to travel or pursue art or love the person you love. There will always be a reason not to, another thing you could or should be doing with your time. Sometimes it's an effort to make sense of our lives. We end up just more lost than ever because love isn't logical. Joy isn't logical. Passion isn't logical. You have to find the courage to paint outside of the lines you once drew for yourself. And I feel like we all did that. Godspeed.
Right.
Caroline and I feel like practice this very well together is like we like to Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday, like mind, body, and soul. Like we are working out, we are eating good, taking baths. I mean, I literally take a bath every day. I don't know why I threw that in there.
I love baths.
Um,
It adds to the self care.
just yeah, doing self care,
Mhm.
100%. Therapy, working on yourself, doing all the things. But then when Friday and Saturday come around, we like to get down.
Yeah, different story.
So I feel like how do you find I feel like you're really good at this. How do you find like the 80-20 rule?
So I feel like this year, I mean, I feel like within the past year, I've been at both ends of the spectrum, whether it be going way too far into like the wellness
Mm.
area or like being like too feral, like going out way too much. But I think that just like make if it's affecting me during the week at all whatsoever, I know I need to reel back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Or giving myself or like what I've been doing lately is staying in on Friday so that I can wake up, have a beautiful morning, like do something that like I love rather than just like sitting in bed and like feeling hungover all day long because that doesn't feel good for anybody.
It's the worst.
Like making sure that I have the ability to go out and then the next day prioritize moving my body, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or like just being able to like get up and do something because I know that if I'm sitting in bed all day long and then I feel bad the next day, like that's not a good sign for me.
Like when you're like hungover one day and then the next day is still bad.
Yeah.
Who? Been there.
I have a solution for either of you guys about hangovers, and that's to continue to drink.
I knew that's what you were gonna say. And that's why you're not allowed to drink.
Right.
Right.
Honestly, I've considered like quitting alcohol, but I feel like it's just been like it's been hard for me within like the past year because it's like such like for I feel like I get such bad social anxiety
Mhm.
and that's something that I tried going out to what was it like house calls the other day like during my like dry Jan thing, and
Just wasn't hitting.
I was like, I feel so like, because it's like I don't know, I feel like I'm around a bunch of people that I like only see when I go out.
Right.
I don't know, but
Like you felt like you wanted to be drinking when you were
I just
trying
was
not to?
I was like, oh my God, like the social anxiety feeling is just like too much
Right.
sometimes.
See, I get like super anxious when I drink a lot.
Yeah.
Like if I'm like drunk at the club, sounded so weird. That's when I get like anxious. Like I'm like, oh, there's too many people. Like, ah. But if I'm just like having a couple drinks, then I'm like, okay, like this is fun. I'm
Yeah.
vibing.
Or like being intentional about
Exactly.
what you're doing, you know?
No, I definitely feel that though. Like, but sometimes it helps me like when I go out and everyone's drunk because then I'm like, they don't have any idea. Like, usually what we say is like, by the time like a normal person has one or two, like they won't really realize that you're not drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's so true.
That is
Yeah.
so true.
That's why I don't go to pre-games usually, is because like I don't want to meet you guys out. You're just fucking starting your night and you're just like me. Like, I'd rather just meet y'all out when y'all drunk, like, and lit.
And it's pretty fun too.
Yeah. It can be fun.
Last year I I went through like a couple months where I wasn't drinking, or like it was like very like it was not very frequent, and I remember like I would just be drinking Diet Coke or like Coke Zero, and like I'd be like, and like everyone would get drunk, and then I was having like more fun than I did when I was drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
For me, it also depends on the place.
Yeah.
right.
Like if I'm listening to good music with good people, I'm good. I don't have to like even
Yeah.
drink. But if I'm at like a stupid bar, like with stupid frat boys, I'm like, I need to be blacked out right now to even like make sense of you guys. Actually, I don't even know the last time I was in that situation because I don't put myself in those situations
No.
anymore.
No.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do we have any else things that we want to ask?
The only other thing would be why should someone start doing yoga?
So, yoga is a practice that is meant for everybody. It helps you to feel more connected to the people in your life, to the world around you. It helps you to like release and let go of like a lot of like negative emotions and things that we attach to, like our ego,
Mhm.
like that, like I thinking, like
Yeah.
I'm unhappy, but it's like it just helps you to kind of like release and let go and find more connection like with those around you.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It was
Yeah.
absolutely amazing.
Carolyn, we are so happy and blessed to have you for episode 11. Thank you for all of your insights. Like, you killed this. And Paige, you want to say anything?
You have such a light to you, and I just love that I've met you and that you're part of my life. Is seriously like just a light
I love you guys.
in everybody's life.
Mhm.
You touch everybody in a very special way. And we just love you.
We love you.
I love you guys so much.
But yeah, I'm really happy I met you, and I think that yeah, I really love you.
I love
Aw.
you guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Best guest, first guest, best guest.
All right. That's a wrap. Episode 11. See you next
Bye.
Friday. Peace.